Theodore Roosevelt has an old quote that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Now, this is decades old, probably 100 years old quote. And it's more relevant today than ever because advice is getting better. So it used to be that it mattered who you went to for advice. That actually mattered because people had different qualities of advice. Sometimes you went to an insurance salesperson and they were looking at advice that they're giving you through the lens of an insurance product, or it could be a mutual fund, an investment product, or perhaps you were going to a stockbroker and they just wanted to buy and sell stocks or bonds for you. So it actually mattered. The quality of the advice, that's what you were kind of paying for. Today, though, advice is getting better, faster, cheaper, more consistent. AI is doing all of this now for us. And it's just gonna get even crazier and crazier. It can do all of the advice given the inputs that we give it, and we can give it as much inputs as we want. And it can even sound eerily empathetic. Now, it's not empathetic, of course, because it's not a human. It can't feel or see our perspective. It can sound like it, though. But even without the best advice, perfect advice doesn't lead to action. Just because you get good advice, just because you've got quality advice, cheap, fast advice, doesn't mean people are going to do it. It doesn't mean that clients are going to implement it. It's not enough. And advice has started to become a commodity. And a commodity is when everything's the same, like oil, gas, corn, right? Soybeans. These are commodities. And when advice turns into a commodity, it means that everybody has access to all the same stuff. Right? So back before advice was a commodity, it mattered. You had value from getting advice from a reputable person. Of course, there was a risk that you were going to find the wrong person, but there were people who were giving good advice. You found a good advisor to advise you. But now, in the age of commodity, the value of that advice has dropped. So AI is going to do the what? All the advice is going to be from AI. All the how is probably going to even be AI. But the why? That's coming from you. And there's a difference between feeling informed and feeling understood. Big difference. Being informed is easy now. That's the commodity. A client doesn't want to be informed. They want to feel heard. A client wants to feel like you understand them. A client doesn't want to feel judged. A client wants to think through things, have a thinking partner. A client doesn't remember the results of your Monte Carlo situation. They remember how they felt in and after the meeting. So the real differentiator is not the advice anymore. It's the ability to be with people. It's understanding. It's the ability to hold space. The ability to ask questions and wait for the answer. Because the client doesn't say, this amazing Monte Carlo is awesome. If this is all they're getting, they might scratch their head and say, who cares? What is this all about? But the advisor or the client that can say, they got me, or I didn't feel judged, that's your true differentiator. Let's think about it this way. I love iceberg analogies. And above the waterline, you've got the facts. This is the information. This is the data. And this is my poor drawing of a robot here is representing AI. This is what AI is going to do very well. AI can tell you that you can start spending more, and that you should stop spending as much, or you should save more. It can offer you all the solutions, all the answers. But underneath the waterline, that's where the feelings lie, the motivations, the emotions. This is where your clients live. This is where your clients want to feel connected. And this little scuba diver guy, this is us jumping in the deep end. Jumping in the deep end to try to be with clients, to be there for clients, to hold space for clients, to help them articulate what's on their mind. AI can tell you that you should start saving more, or that you should stop spending as much. But AI can't notice the shame behind the spending that you've tried several times to cut back on. AI is not going to be able to see a client's partner holding back tears. AI is not going to be able to sit in silence and watch some facial expressions while you contemplate a question that you've never thought about before. This is where change happens. And this is why soft skills matter now more than ever with AI. Hey, Derek Hagan here at Money Quotient. If this was interesting to you, if this is something that you want to learn more about, this is the kind of thing that we teach at Money Quotient. We teach financial advisors communication skills, facilitation techniques. We teach them about life planning. And basically it all comes down to Stephen Covey's quote, "What good is climbing a ladder if it's leaning against the wrong wall?" Or if the ladder you're climbing isn't leaning against the right wall, every step you take just gets you to the wrong place faster. So we help advisors, help clients identify the right wall. So if this is interesting to you, head on over to moneyquotient.com. You can learn about our True Wealth planning process, which is our model of financial life planning, which guides clients through 5 stages and 4 inquiry categories. These are the types of conversations that you have. So please let me know if you want to learn more. moneyquotient.com.